Hello, Paudling Countyans. I greet you again today from the Chairman's Corner, and as you've seen other interviews with our department heads, it's a pleasure today to have Miss Ann Lippmann with me, and she is the Director of Community Development, which has many parts to it, and it's one of our most important areas of county development and growth. So Ann, welcome. It's good to see you.
Thank you, Chairman. Good to be here.
I always like to start out with a little background information about you. And
okay.
So tell us about yourself.
Okay. I'm a native to Georgia. I grew up in South Fulton County, and after graduating high school, I was fortunate enough to attend the University of Georgia, where I obtained a bachelor's degree in geography. After that, I went straight on to graduate school, where I attended Clemson University and got a master's degree in city and regional planning. I've been working for local governments for 22 years, and in my spare time, I love to play tennis, and I love to travel. I'm currently on a quest to visit all 50 states before I turn 50, and I have 7 left, but I was fortunate enough last month to combine both of my loves, and I went to California. I'm a huge fan of Roger Federer, and I got to see his charity tennis match in San Jose in early March, actually.
Very, very good. So go Dogs and go Tigers,
yes,
right?
Yes,
and I think last year you went to Hawaii? Or is that
Alaska. I went to Alaska last year, so Hawaii's still on my list.
Okay. Well, hopefully you find your work enjoyable most of the time. What is gratifying about community development?
I do really enjoy my work, and over the years, a lot of people, when you're a city planner, they don't know exactly what you do. So over the years, I've sort of condensed it to I let people build stuff. And my favorite part of this job is watching a project start from somebody's dream that they may come in because they need the property rezoned. They get it rezoned, they submit their plans, they get their plans approved, and they start building. They have the grand opening and they get their business license. It's really gratifying to me to see a project unfold over time, because unfortunately sometimes when you have a planning project, it takes years to happen, but sometimes with just a building, you can see it come to fruition. So I find that really gratifying.
You and your staff are integral to that whole process. Can you tell us a little bit about the different divisions and what they do?
Sure. We have 4 divisions in community development. There's planning and zoning. That's sort of where everything starts. Planning and zoning. Every piece of property in Paudling County has a zoning district on it, and so people come in to find out what their property's zoned, and a lot of times if it's not zoned for what they want, they have to get it rezoned, so we help them through that process, and then it sort of gets turned over to the development division. They coordinate the civil engineering process, so when people are submitting plans on how they want to get their property developed, and once those are approved, they're turned over to the building and permitting division, where they get a building permit, and our building inspectors come out and throughout the building process inspect that building to make sure it meets all the state codes. And once that's done, we recently incorporated business license into community development, and so once all that's done, you come in and get a business license, and we have about 3,800 business licenses in the city, so that division stays busy throughout the year.
Very good, very good. I believe we're over 300 square miles of property, a large county, beautiful county, different geographical features. How do you view that coming from Union City is where you came from?
Yes, I think Paudling County, it really does have the best of both worlds. On the eastern side, it's part of metropolitan Atlanta. You're probably 30 minutes to downtown Atlanta on maybe an afternoon, maybe not in morning traffic. But then the western side is lots of trees and very natural and rural. So I think we sort of have the best of both worlds. And I think we have one of the best assets in the state of Georgia, the Silver Comet Trail, going right through Paudling County.
I agree, and we want people to come and enjoy it, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
As far as our more developed areas and designated corridors, can you tell us about major zoning differences and divisions?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the eastern part of Paudling County would be considered suburban. That's where a lot of our initial residential development got started, and there's a wide variety of housing choices. Highway 278 that goes through Hiram has a lot of our commercial development that includes major shopping destinations and restaurants. Cedar Crest area that's up in the northeastern part of the county has a lot to offer in the way of upscale residential developments, and we've seen a lot of increase in the number of commercial developments that are going on in that area too.
Great. Well, permitting, you mentioned as one of the divisions. 2-3 years ago, I built a barn outside of our home and needed to get a permit for that, but talk with us about what citizens may need to know about permitting and that process and being prepared adequately.
Okay. I think the key to getting a permit and getting that process smoothly is coming in prepared, doing a little bit of your homework. You need to know what the square footage of your project is. You probably need to have a plat of your property showing where a new house or an addition to an existing building would be. You need to know if you're on public sewer or on a septic tank. Know the dimensions of your property and have plans prepared by a qualified engineer or architect. Another recommendation that we would have for citizens is to make sure that your contractor is, if you're using a contractor, is properly licensed by the state and has a local business license, and you might want to even check recommendations and check with people who've done other work with them to make sure that they are going to meet your needs.
Very good information and just practical, helpful suggestions there. Thank you. I think our audience might be interested in the areas of most residential growth in the county and permits.
I'm a little bit of a data. I love data and Excel spreadsheets, so I track the building permit data on a monthly basis. The majority of our residential growth is in Post 4. I also do some of the information for the school district, so I break it out by high school zone and middle school zone. And so that narrows it down a little more, so we know that North Paudling has the most, the high school zone has the most permits, and I believe it's McClure Middle School has the most middle school permits in the county. But permits are up all over the county. Every post has more permits being issued this year than they did last year. Last year we issued 1,500 permits, with the vast majority, about 60% of those were in Post 4. So the northeast part of the county is definitely where the most residential growth is going to be.
Wow, a lot of changes in Paudling County. Talk with us a minute about commercial growth and areas that are growing in that area.
Okay, 278 in Hiram. There's been some new development. An Ulta just came in recently. Bath and Body Works, I believe Home Goods is coming in along 278. And we're seeing a lot of commercial growth in the Cedar Crest area. Up at Cedar Crest and 92, there's going to be a Moe's, Arby's, and a pet store coming. So I think some of our commercial development is spreading beyond 278. We're seeing some interest in South Paudling at Baker's Bridge and Ridge Road. So I think when the 92 expansion comes in, that area is going to blossom.
Well, Ann, I know you and your staff worked hard on the comprehensive plan that was called Charting the Course. You had stakeholders that are county business folks and state. What are some of the most challenging and gratifying parts of that effort and that accomplishment?
We really enjoyed that process, and I think the best part of that was the collaboration that took place. My understanding, the last time we did a comp plan, it was one person basically sitting in their office writing it, and we decided to take a different outlook on it this time, and we invited the cities, the chamber, economic development, the school district. We had a great group of consultants that we met monthly. We looked at every kind of aspect of Paudling County, and we had 4 community meetings, and we learned a great lesson to go where the people are. We had 2 of those meetings in libraries, and those were by far some of the best attended meetings that we had. Our last one we had in conjunction with the library system, an art contest for children. And that one was definitely the most attended, and it was great to get some of the children's ideas about Paudling County, because we had them draw how they're going to get to school in the future, what they want to be when they grow up, and their favorite place in Paudling County. And we had some really great submittals. We were pleased with the participation that resulted from that. And but on the flip side, one of the most challenging things is how to get the public input, because it's really their plan, and we want, what they want to do. So, but the group, we continue to meet not on a monthly basis, but we meet on a quarterly basis, and any opportunities that we have to collaborate, we want to keep that going.
I can't think of anything better than solid and sound planning. One of my favorite sayings is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, and you all certainly have not done that. You and your staff have worked hard. I know our citizens will be blessed and enriched by the work that you've done. So thanks for the information today, and just thanks for all of you all do.
Thank you.